Hello and welcome back to Let's Play 35 plus years of Advanced Squad Leader. Today is a Monday. Unfortunately, I'm not playing Denant with Rob. I had a bit of a health thing, and I think Rob is also going through something, so I figured probably best if I just go through a solo scenario, try to recover from my own issues, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, next week this is going to be this has been a saga, but nonetheless, I'm gonna try and push through it and survive. So today's scenario is a scenario from Fanatic Enterprises. Specifically, this is Fanatic or FE-90, busted at Bulson or Bulson, depending on how you want to pronounce it. This scenario features it's another armor only scenario, and strangely, it is based around some exit VP. So we're gonna have to see just how much that will impact the game. Hopefully not too much, but EVP is always a bit of a strange beast, because you don't necessarily want to exit too early, but you don't want to take too much time. You also have a consideration of, do you want to spend time to kill enemy units versus save your own, be aggressive, be beat aggressive, that sort of thing. So in this scenario, we have the French versus the Germans, pretty self-explanatory based on the colors. The setup is simultaneous, so unfortunately, the German setup is rather limited in its space. You have to set up north of on board 44 of the Y1 GG5 road. So essentially, you're in that top right corner. You can't really set up anywhere else. There's no particular, for lack of a better term, like intrigue or interest on where you can set up. I'm sure that there's probably a bit of value in, say, having like guns pointed down here or down this road specifically. But outside of those simple conditions, there's not much else you can really do. Similarly, with the French, you can set up anywhere as long as it's south of hex row U. I think it includes, yeah. Oh, technically that is west. So I have to shrink this down. That's a bit of a bummer. I have technically does not say uh, on or west. Just says west of hex row U, so you can't actually be on hex row U. Either way, I don't think that's really going to matter. The entire point of this is to try and maximize the speed from the vehicles themselves. So the French vehicles, really their biggest limitation, they have a set of 4 FCM 36s. Let me see if I can pull these up once more. So FCM 36s as well as H39s. These H39s and FCM 36s, as you can see, are 12 movement and 9 respectively. They're not really great. They both also have a very big problem, aka the AP10. So you're going to be lobbing HE. It's not all that great. AP10 is still a very hard number to hit in the sense of missing ammo, but it's still very much possible, right? It's not only can you break your gun, but you could potentially just not have AP anymore. Whereas the same doesn't necessarily apply to the Germans. Some of their vehicles are B11s. Are they all B11s? No. Um, so yeah, the difference there, the Germans have Panzer II-As, they have Panzer 38T-As, specifically Aus A, and Panzer IV-Cs. I'm pretty sure I've only played one scenario with Panzer IV-As, and honestly, you should never really see them regardless. But that is essentially what's on hand today. So the Germans and French both have the same number of vehicles. It's really just a difference in the quality of those vehicles. In this case, the French have their very common high armor factors, whether it's 6 for the FCMs or 4 for the H-39s, or at least I'm pretty sure I'm reading that correctly. Sorry, opposite way. H-39s have the 6 armor. Obviously, it's 4 squared, so it is normally 4, but in certain conditions, it is 6. Namely, side armor for the turret. The turrets are really good, essentially. And yeah, that's not necessarily the same for the Germans. They typically lack the same armor benefits, but they might only have to contend with HE shots. So we'll see how that all shakes out. Um, because the setup is simultaneous, technically, you wouldn't be able to see what one person is setting up is doing, and you would have an extra map set up as a screen, diagonally, so you wouldn't be able to see stuff. But honestly, there's not much. Like I said, there's not much of a reason to do anything different. As the Germans, you're not really going to be able to do much. Period. And the French, I mean, outside of maybe if you want to be in the back for some reason and go north directly, doesn't really make much sense. But nonetheless, those are options, I guess. The scenario will not have any ELR or sniper because, I mean, typically when it comes to French only scenarios, they would not include those. Um, Crews can't ELR, so that doesn't matter. And a sniper, while a sniper could activate technically, in many cases it would be a sort of failure to find, if you know any Magic the Gathering terminology, where the sniper activates, but there are no valid targets as everybody is buttoned up. Therefore, the sniper doesn't actually do anything. He maybe just replaces himself, and that's it. So we're not going to bother with those, which is nice. Weather is probably not going to come into effect in this scenario, simply because I'm not going to be shooting smoke realistically. Maybe smoke dischargers or dispensers to get myself out of a tricky situation as the Germans, but the French don't really have anything that they can do for that. Lastly, in terms of special scenario rules, the other thing is that either side can set up some or all of their vehicles in motion. I think it's interesting wording here that it does not say none, some, or all. It just says some or all. So presumably, at least a tank must start in motion on either side. Maybe that's just being too much of a rules lawyer. I don't think it really matters. But something to keep in mind when checking that stuff out. Victory condition for this scenario is the side with the most EVP wins, so this is specifically and solely EVP. The Germans get EVP for exiting on the western edge of board 19, so on the bottom board to the left, whereas the French get points for exiting on board 44 on the east, which is the right side in this case. So, without further ado, I should probably put a north badge on here, although I really don't think that matters, but I've put other counters, so might as well. So without further ado, we're just going to go right into this. It will start as the French. I should, I guess one last thing, point out my version of this scenario. I don't believe it ever got errated, but my version of this scenario has the turn record chart, and the top thing is French, and then below that says simultaneous setup. And for whatever reason, the producer of this scenario card put the German insignia next to the French name. I don't know why they did that. So we're just going to assume French is what was supposed to go first. And it's also important because the French will get the last turn if it ever goes to that. Bradley phase, nothing happens. Weather, there's no change. There's no prep fire to be done. Nobody should have line of sight. And if there is, it's probably the craziest, wonkiest thing I've ever seen. So I figured being in motion would probably be the best. I will end up taking these motion counters off because I don't think I care to move all those counters at the same time. Now, also importantly, the French tanks do not have radios, so they must use platoon movement. So I am going to try and relate that as best as possible. So I'm going to have my, I believe the SCM 36s are the ones with the worst movement points, so they're going to move first. They're going to move 1, 2, 3. Then following the road, essentially at this point, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5. Everybody's in motion. 7, 7.5, 8, 8, and 8. And then I think for the time being, I'm going to stop. Because I have to stop everybody at the same time due to platoon movement, this may be my best option here. So everybody here is going to stop. And then on with the other group, they will move for 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5. Do I want to do it that way? No. I think this was 6. So we'll do... Come on. Thank you. 6, 7. I'll just say 8 because I'm not 100% sure if I did that right. Yeah, that's fine. 9, 10. Yeah, I should just have done that. 10, 11. You know, the side armor is really not going to matter, so because they're both the same. So 11, and then stop for 12. Now, I want to be specific on some gun position here. Yeah, if I hadn't guffed that, then I could have probably gotten here. I don't know if that's super great. I want to get this wall at the very least. Like if I can have a tank in P8, Q8, then S9, R8's kind of a dead hex, but I think this is good enough for my wants. Yeah. So that's going to be it for movement. I can probably just skip the bottom portion of this map at this point. Defensive fire, none, just because everybody's in motion. Advanced fire phase, not going to bother. Ooh, that's not true. Advanced fire phase, advances. I am going to button everybody up. And I forgot that these guys are one-man turrets. I am going to double check just in case, but I'm fairly certain when they have that icon on them, they are all single-man turrets, which is terrible because, yeah, large, thick, white square with no corners. So they're all one-man turrets, which is terrible because it means that you can't button up, which means you're always getting the +1 for that condition. And if you get stunned, you are automatically recalled. So even if the Germans don't penetrate, they may still get quote-unquote kills. So we go to German turn 1. We've got our weather, which is no change whatsoever. Rally phase and prep fire phase, not going to bother with prep fire phase. Now we go to movement. Germans do not have to worry about their radios, their platoon movement, because they don't need to use it. So now it's a question of how do I maximize the amount of weapons I have and weapon systems I have to punish the French here. Okay, how do I want to do this? Biggest issue is going to be some line of sight with this and getting too funky trying to go through here. I think first things first, Z1 is going to move for 1, and then 3, 4. Would I see him? I don't know if that guy has any other good targets. Yeah, I'm going to take a shot from N7. Why not? Oh, I can't see that anyways. All right. Well, good to know. So he shot. There's no. Another big thing, big problem with the French tanks, because they have a single man turret. They also don't have rate of fire. That's not necessarily a one man turret thing, but with regards to the smaller gun, that is very indicative of why they don't have rate of fire. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, and then stop for 13. Tank and AA2 will go to Z2 for 1. It is a 38A. I'm going to shoot with L8. No. For the record, I will be defaulting. I'm not going to mention it over and over and over again, but I am going to default to AP. 1, because it would be silly to shoot HE, and 2, because I'm only shooting against vehicles. So normally I would ask my opponent and all that sort of stuff. I think it makes more sense to ask an opponent, unless it's strictly, you know, we agree that it's always AP. So that was 1, 2, oops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, stop 15. And that's going to be a very dangerous level here. But hopefully the 3 frontal armor is going to be enough to protect them. I can technically do that in the advanced phase, doesn't matter. Tank in BB2, 15 movement. What can we do here? Moves for 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then stops for 10. I think as he stops, this tank is going to take a shot. No. And also only been shooting real high. This guy's going to get an acquisition. I guess technically the other guy would have gotten acquisition, but it's acquisition on like this hex. I forget if I even checked. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna leave it there just in case. And I believe that because this guy, I don't think you get an AC on a hex if it's a blocked shot, which feels like you should be able to get it, but either way, it doesn't matter. Got a big dilemma on this side of the board here. I can't use these hedges to protect myself. Not necessarily, anyways. And these walls don't really benefit the Germans. So, and I can't just let these guys have free reign because otherwise they're just going to drive right off board. So, let's try to make sense here. Tank and C3 will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, turn for 10, stop for 11. Tank and DD4 will move for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think he has a shot on AA9. This guy probably does. No, he doesn't because of the... yeah, because I'm aiming this way. 9. I guess that's technically true. 10, turn for 11, stop for 12. Tank and DD3 will move for 1, 2, 3, oops, 3, 4. 5. Stop for 6. Tank and EE4 will move 1, 2, 3, 4. Turns for 5, stops for 6. And then Tank and FF4 will move 1, 2, 3. This is so... I don't think he would have line of sight. What's the line of sight? Yeah, it would go through here. You know what? If I get to see him again, I will get the acquisition anyways. I-10's going to shoot at him. Okay. I'm going to be real sour. Oh, that is. Okay, I'm glad I trusted my instincts here. So, what are we looking at here? That is a moving target for +2. What's our range on this? Should be, okay, 7. All right. Oh, do they have the... shoot. I need... Are they here? Where's the charts for the countries? French... Yeah, vehicle red numbers. I need to label this. Vehicle red number. Okay. So, they use red numbers, which is bad. Range 7 drops that to an 8. So there's a +2 for moving. How much would he have seen? He started an EE4, I believe. So 1. Well, if he starts the turn in view, I think that just eliminates that, and he can just see it. Okay, so +2. There's no size. There is a button up for 1. I think that's it. I can't really think of any crazier combo of stuff. That does also make it into a crit. Do you get multiple hits on a crit? That is a very good question. I can't imagine you would get double roll on a crit. Multiple hits. Multiple hits. Multiple hits. C38. Also, it's hilarious because that always happens to my better vehicles. They just always blow up. They don't qualify. Yada, yada, yada. Multiple hit must be applied to the same target. Okay. So no matter what, you can't get multiple hits on an improbable hit, but that's not what we're counting here. So presumably you do get multiple hits, critical hits, which is kind of crazy. So we're looking at a 37. We're gonna do... Okay, well, that's just dead. 37 short is a 2 kill number of 7. That goes up to 14. So it would have had to almost be double duds. So that the first number would have been a 6 anyways. So that just becomes a burning wreck with no way to save it. So that's just a blaze. This guy is fired. Yeah, things are not turning out too well. That might actually be a shot. Okay, so we'll go to defensive fire phase. In the defensive fire phase, I'm going to have L6 shoot at AA6. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, cool. Range is 15. There's at least a +2. One for button up, one for hedge. What are we looking at here? 15 was range? I needed a 7. The +2 will negate that. So no hit, but there is acquisition. And I guess technically the other tank did get acquisition, but I don't think anybody else is going through that specific hex. Is there any other shots? That's a great question. He is shot. I don't think M7 sees him. I don't really know what he would see, period. I think that's it. Advanced fire phase, none, no routes. In the advanced phase, every German tank is going to unbutton. And then we go to CC, of which there's none. We go to French turn 2. I should probably get out CVP/EVP counters here. Label EVP and then do the same for these guys. Alright. Rally phase, we do weather, no change. That's interesting. Does that just pull... Wait, how does that have... I'm very curious as to why this has Axis SAN and ELR numbers, because I did not input that. Strange. That is fixed now, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay, so rally phase nothing. I should probably take off counters. Prep fire, in the prep fire phase, the biggest problem here is that because of platoon movement, you have to basically shoot all at the same time, or move. You can't necessarily split up. That being said, I can split groups up into groups of 2, because I don't believe platoon is necessarily 3, but I do need to double check this. 2 or 3 AFE may create platoon during setup. Alright, cool. So, as a result, I'm going to essentially form a platoon with these back guys. These front guys are going to move around and probably try to take this wall and get to R8 or Q9 and then shoot at this guy. I really don't think I'll have the line of sight for it, but it's kind of my only real option here, unless I go to P8 and keep that wall. But either way, for prep fire phase, L6 is going to continue shooting AP, of course. That should be a hit. We've already seen that as being a successful shot. There is a -1 acquisition that is going to go down by 1, up 2, down 1, so it's an up 1 on the shot, which is going to be in effect. It is not a critical. Again, there's no rate of fire, so nothing to worry about there. Range is... There's no bonus to range. I can't believe this. Armor is 3 from the front. That's just going to kill him. That's unbelievable. Alright, well, when the 2 opening shots kill the 2 most valuable tanks on the German in the German command here. That's not all that great. What is their show info? Cruise survival 5. No cruise survival. Okay, well, this is going super well, as you can probably imagine. I don't think L8 has a shot on W3, but I'll take a shot nonetheless, just to see. No, that's super blocked. So they will not get AC. Tank in K9 will make the same shot again. AP, all that. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Um. Okay. Well, armor is 1. What are we looking at here for range? Range is 9, apparently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, it can count. So, range 9. I need an 8 to hit. Was definitely a hit, so there's no issue there. But range 9 changes nothing for to kill number, which is good. I guess technically, yeah, that wouldn't have mattered. The minus for accuracy would not have changed anything on this guy's shot. So his shot does hit. The 7, need a 7 for a kill at that range. Armor is 1, so it's going to bump that up to an 8, which means that it is a hull hit. It is a possible shock. We do morale check essentially, and they are fine. So they don't get stunned, which is probably the only thing that's a saving grace at this point. Okay. I think that might be it for preps. I'm going to change this guy's turret to face up. I just don't want these two guys kind of running around and making a mockery of things. Movement phase, I'm going to start these two vehicles for 1 movement. They will move here for 2. As I do that, I believe I should have line of sight on this guy's rear, but I might as well shoot at N7. So tank and R2 will shoot at N7. Okay, I don't break the gun, which is the biggest deal there, because that would really suck. I don't break the gun, but I definitely have line of sight. Okay. So they've moved for 2, 3. This will keep moving. All right. It's quite intensive on that. I won't have any other shots, so why not? Breakdown goes down by 2, I believe, so I don't break the gun, but they're definitely not a hit. Acquisition will change, but it's not going to matter. These tanks will turn for 1, so they're at like 4 right now. 5. Oops. Hey. 5. Uh, 6. 7 is really all I care about at this point. Stop for 8, and then, yeah, turn turret. I think this makes the most sense. I'm fairly certain I can't for the purpose of, yeah, that makes would not have made any sense. So that's it for this first group. Second group over here, they're going to start for 1, 2. Do I shoot now or do I wait? I'll shoot now with this guy. 8 and 10 is going to shoot. Okay. 3. Tank in AA7 is going to take a shot at the lead tank as well. Okay, that is definitely a hit. There's no way around that. +2 for moving. +1 for hindrance from the German tank. It's small, so there's +4 overall, right? 2 moving, small, hindrance. An extra +2 for not seeing it for very long. I'm counting 6. Even with a 7, an additional modifier. Yeah, it'd still be... Oh, no, wait, that's a 4 overall. Really? Would I have seen him anywhere else? No. I don't get the button up. That's +4. Why do I always think it's an extra plus? So +4 for moving target J2 condition. +5 for hindrance. 6 for LOS. Or not LOS. Um, small. No, yeah, that's just 6. What else could apply? 6. What else would apply? I think that's all that can apply. I hope I'm not miscounting or not counting stuff. I don't think I am. There's no plus for button up because they are not. So I think that will be a hit. Fine margins, absolutely, but I think that is a hit. Now, it is rate of fire, which is also very important. Um, it is not 2 hits, and it is hull. So that is going to be 3 armor instead of anything else. 20L is 6 on the 2 kill. It is going to be increased by 1 for range, because that is 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes. So the 2 kill number becomes a 7. Armor of 3 bumps that up to a 7. So that is going to be on hull an immobilized tank, which really sucks. So that guy's immobilized. We'll take his acquisition off the field for now. This tank gains acquisition. And then, because this guy's immobilized, this guy now has to, if I remember correctly, has to try and move as a separate entity or become stopped because of the other immobilized. He is just going to stop. So he can't do anything else. His platoon movement is over. Yeah. That's it for movement. We go to defensive fire phase. In the defensive fire phase, I am going to have tank in P1 turn its turret so it can shoot at the tank that's now in Q8. That is not going to hit. Yeah, there's nothing else. I was going to say, oh, I probably need to declare, but, you know, the only tank that has AP kind of blew up, so they've got nothing they can do. Tank in U1 is going to try and shoot at P8. That is going to be a hit. That is also turret, so that actually could do something. Now, it is 20L, so it's not going to, but that is important to be able to get those hits. I'm going to need acquisition on this guy as well. So that is a hit. It is in turret. We're talking about ranges of 10. So because the range is 10, there is no pluses or minuses to basic to hit. There's a +2 for having moved. There's a +1 for being small. Otherwise, maybe they get the wall for +1 or +2 with that one, but +2 for size, plus I need a 9. So +2 for wall, we'll say, +2 for having moved, and +1 for small. That still equals a 9, so that still should be a hit. 2 kill, I would need a... I actually don't know if it's possible to kill. I actually need to check unlikely kill at this point, because I don't know what I would need. Is it possible to get something like an unlikely kill? I don't even think unlikely kill is for that, but we'll check anyways. No, that's CCDRM. That's not what I'm looking for. Unlikely kill. not this one. Is it really E70.70 something something? No, that's versus aircraft. There's gotta be a way to... Why can't I think of the word for it? It's not unconfirmed kill. I know about that one. But I would have imagined that some of these cases, if because armor is so high, that there would still be a potential way to kill. Alright, well, in the interest of not being on this for a long amount of time, I'm just going to... Yeah, we're just gonna hope I can spot this at a different time. So, like I said, I need a really low number. Didn't get it. I will shoot again because I did get rate because of the rate of fire of 2, which is fantastic. I believe that the +2 modifier still works. I'm not 100% sure. Well, he's not immobilized, so yeah, there probably is still the +2. So I did not get a hit in that instance. I will get another hit on my third shot. 2 kills, not going to do it. I will take a third shot and not get anything. That is now flipped to 2, which is great. And this gets a first fire counter on it. The tank in W3 is going to take a shot at K9. That is going to be a hit. That is a straight shot at range 9. This tank is small, so there is a +1. But otherwise, there are no other modifiers. So I would need a 9 anyways. The important part here, though, is that I do not get any rate of fire, which is a bit of a bummer, but take what I can get. So this guy is considered fired. Tank in AA10 cannot do anything. Tank in AA7 will continue shooting because they maintain rate and maintain rate once more. They've got a +2 for having moved, +1 for small and hindrance. It's +4. They get -1 for acquisition, so that it'll just be a hit. 2 kill will be nothing. They will shoot a second time in this phase, and they will get a hit. And do they get a kill? No. All right, my TKs have been terrible for the Germans. Advanced fire phase. The tank in G10 will shoot adjacent, because why not? I believe that's a miss. So bounding fire for having been in motion, it is case B, which is +2. I believe one-man turret counts as slow turret, so it's +4. Button up will be a +5. So I'm at 13. There is a -2 for point blank range. It gets down to an 11, but that is it. There's no other modifier. Actually, there's a +1, so it goes up to a 12. So essentially nothing happens, which is to be expected for having moved. Tank in H9 can't do anything. Tank in P8 will try to return fire. Okay, well, sure. What are we looking at here? So, same thing with having moved. So there's +4 automatically on this. The range is 10, and I'm using red numbers. So there's +4 automatically. They need an 8. There is 1 for button up, 1 for small. That might be it. So I think that's a +6 overall, which is enough. It's enough for a potential kill. 2 kill, also multiple hits, so double roll. We'll take the first one. The 5, I need a 7 on a 37 short. So 5, that gets up upped to a 6 for distance, or not for distance, but for armor. That is going to be a kill. Oops. Button up, and this guy is wrecked. Crew survival, didn't get it. Alright. I am on a roll, and this is really, really gross. Tank in Q8 is also going to do the same type of shenanigans. They will not get a hit. They will... actually, they don't get acquisition because they're... I believe because they're considered moving. This guy is immobilized. That's why he gets to get it. Routes, none. Advances, none. CC, none. We go to German turn 2. Weather is no change. During the rally phase, I get to try and repair a gun. Doesn't happen. This is probably going to be a game over because, yeah. The Germans simply don't have enough firepower to take tanks out, and they will soon not have the tanks to get the same amount of points off. So, in this instance, yeah, there's no point being CE anymore. So tank in AA7 is going to shoot at the tank in G10. It is a hit. It is rate as well, which is very important. That is going to be on the turret. That is a 4 armor for that, so it brings that up to a 9. That is not going to be enough. I need essentially Snake Eyes to do anything, which is really bad. I will take a second shot. No hit, no rate. Sorry, and then 2 kill is nothing. He is stuck on prep fire. Tank in W3 is going to take a shot into K9 as well. Hit, no rate. 4, that is hull, which is going to be side armor, which is only 3, but that brings it up to a 7, which is 1 above. That is a possible shock. Morale check, that is a shocked tank. Where is my shock? So 1 tank gets shocked, about as much I'm going to be able to do. He gets prepped. I believe the shock tank loses its acquisition. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm going to play it as if that's the case. In this case, if I move, I'm probably screwed. I'd rather shoot with this guy. This guy, I don't know if he has line of sight on him. No, he definitely doesn't. No, he definitely doesn't. So tank in P1 is going to take a shot at guy in Q8. That is range 7. It's not going to be a hit and no rate. So you're prepped. You will get an acquisition. You get Hungarian colors. Why not? I guess technically it was a wall anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Movement phase, this tank in R2 is going to start for 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really stupid, but I'm going to have P8 try to shoot at him. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Doesn't break his gun, but has run out of AP. So turn 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe that's 10. I think hedge is just an extra 1. Yeah, DOT, H. Sorry, 1 plus 2, yeah, COT, yeah. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, stop for 15. This tank is going to take a shot. I don't know if he can actually see him. He can. It is a snow rate of fire, first and foremost. Oh, did I? Yeah, he's buttoned up. Okay, so this would have been the only hex he sees him in. So there's the +4. Brings it to a 9. and small and button up, so that's a miss. But there is acquisition. It's a good thing that they don't have rate of fire. He has shot. That's really it. That's it for movement. Defensive fire phase. Tank in G10 is going to... I might as well shoot at AA10. Definitely a hit. No rate. They don't have it anyway. Alright, well. This is bad. This is terrible. I don't like. I've gotten all the good rolls for one side only. So that guy is blown up. It probably actually. What are we looking at here? 2 kill is 7. Armor is a 1. Yeah, that's a burning wreck. So I didn't even need to roll for that. And that makes this guy shooting at him impossible now. So that's good. Tank in Q8 is going to shoot at the Panzer 38A. Does not blow up his gun, miraculously. Really wishing that the French had that on their tank guns, but yep. Nobody else has any shots. He doesn't have a shot. He doesn't have a shot. Yeah, no. Advanced fire phase tank in L2 is going to shoot back. No. He does not get acquisition. I don't think they do. I'm not 100% sure. They probably do, actually, because he is considered stopped. So he's not in motion, but anyways. Advanced phase none, CC none. We go to French turn 3. French turn 3 is going to feature no weather change. There's no repairs that need to be done. There is a shock that turns into an unknown kill, and that's pretty much it. So prep fire phase, tank in K7 is going to shoot. It's going to be a hit, I believe, plus 3 overall, but that is within range 6. So they just need a 10, so should be enough. Jesus. Front armor is 337 short. We've already said that's a 7, so that is equal. Equal on turret is a shocked turret, or a shocked tank. So that tank is now shocked. They will not have the chance to get anything. There's also the acquisition, which would have changed that anyways. So prep fire is done there. Tank in Q8 is going to shoot at the 38T. That's a hit. It's +1 for size, +1 for button up. 7. I think they need an 8 no matter what. Okay. That's also a shock. What is this? This is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever had tanks be such deadly snipers. Okay. This tank, because he's immobilized, can't do anything else. So he's gonna shoot at. He's gonna shoot through the flames. Gee, you got it. I need a 10. Blaze is 2, I believe. I forget if you add the hindrance from the tank. It's not gonna matter. That's a +1. So it's +1 for size, +1 for button up. We'll say +1 for hindrance. That brings that to a 6. And then +2 for blaze brings that to an 8. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't count the hindrance, or at least like one of those things. Doesn't matter. Finally, the 2 kill does not do anything. No rate, but acquisition. So his acquisition goes here now. It's now easier for him to shoot through flames to try and get him. Movement phase. In the movement phase, they're going to try and move that vehicle. They won't. So he's considered having moved. So he just stops and doesn't do anything. Tank in L8 will attempt the same. He will get it. So he gets his movement. He starts for 1, 2. This tank will shoot at him because he has to try and prevent the French from doing extra. It will not succeed whatsoever. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then stop for 6. And I'm stopping so I can start a platoon with that other guy. You are considered fired. And in the defensive fire phase, tank in AA7 is going to shoot at G10. Definitely a hit. Nope. Do have rates. We'll shoot again. Hit. No, it should be a hit. No effect. Third shot. Another hit. No effect. Fourth shot. Probably a hit because of +2 down 2 for hindrance from smoke and from acquisition, and then hindrance small. Yeah, should be enough. No. All right. So that's that. Advanced fire phase. None. Yeah, none. Routes, none. Advances, none. CC, none. We go to German turn 3. Weather, gusts. Don't think that's going to matter. Rally phase, we'll do left to right Germans first. So, first vehicle flips, and okay, well, they're both just unknown kills now. Tank in, okay. This is so one-sided. Oh my god. I hope Rutan sees this. That's it for rallies. Prep fire phase, I mean, this tank is fine now, so he'll just take a shot. Why not? No hits. Actually, no, because there's at least a +2. Sorry. This goes here. This goes here. So he's considered shot. Immobilized tank will continue his shenanigans. Fuck right out of here. It's a critical. It'll double. That tank's just dead. There's no way around that because it goes from 7 to a 14. Armor of 1. I'm pretty sure that turns it into a burning wreck as well. So I'm just gonna copy this blaze. He is... Oh, sorry. I'm doing this backwards. It wouldn't matter. There's no reason for this tank to move because I need him to do stuff. And we'll just say, like, I tried to move and then I got a crit on him. These two guys are unknown kills, so they can't do anything. So, yeah, he is the only thing who could do something because he shot. I think I literally did do this backwards for no reason. Yeah, if he starts for 1, he still gets shot by this guy. Where do I go with him? There's, like, nowhere to go that's safe. Like, as an example, starts for 1, gets shot by the guy down at the bottom. So this is, huzzah, should be this. So, moves 1, 2, this guy shoots. It would have been the first time he sees him. So there's an auto +4. Then an extra +2. So +6 overall, misses. We'll get acquisition on him. Not that that matters. Then he continues to W6. He's going to intensive because I'm pretty sure he's allowed to. Pretty sure that does break the gun because the break number should be down to. Yeah. So he intensifies, so he breaks his gun, which whatever, it doesn't matter. Acquisition goes away. He's at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, stop 14 or whatever, and then exists there. Again, it's not going to matter. I think he can track him, but I don't think he gets free cover dart changes. So that's it for movement phase, because again, everybody else is pretty much dead or dying. Tank in Q8 shoots. It is a -1 on range 7. +1, -1. Yeah, it's a miss. So he will miss, which is unfortunate. Tank in K7, same idea. That will be a hit. Doesn't do anything on the 2 kill. No. Cool. Like I said, this guy got a crit. I mean, at worst, I can just do defensive fire with both of these tanks. So this tank in H9 turns his turret twice. Shot, nothing. Tank in G9 will turn his turret twice to shoot, also nothing. Doesn't matter. Advanced fire phase. In the advanced fire phase, I-9 shoots at nearest tank. That should be a hit because they should, I believe they're both considered stopped at this point. No. Alright, cool. Didn't get rate of fire either. Routes, nothing. Advanced, nothing. CC, nothing. We go to French turn 4. French turn 4, no weather change. Rallies and stuff. Main armament, doesn't get it. That's it for the French. Germans, one tank okay, other tank okay. Alright, well, at least there's that. Could have been way worse. Prep fire phase, tank in K7 takes a shot. They will hit. No effect. This tank won't do anything. Tank in Q8 is going to take a shot. I'm pretty sure I've not missed loss of ammo. Range is 7, so plus 2, down 2, so it should just negate itself. No effect. All right, now their ammo is no bueno. Tank G10 turns his turret twice to shoot. No way. No, there's no way that's a hit. I need to delete this. So pretty sure that can't be a hit because he's got to turn his turret twice at least. Plus button up, plus small, plus hindrance. It's got to be at least 6. I guess I'll math it out just in case. So firing outside of outside covered arc. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there was 2 hexes, so that is at least a plus 3. It's plus 1 for hindrance. Plus, oh, there is point blank range. Yeah, so 3 for turning, 1 for button up. So we're at 4. Plus 1 for small, minus 1 for point blank range. I think it's a plus 4. So that is a hit, I believe, unless my math is wrong. It is no effect on the 2 kills, so it doesn't matter. Movement phase. In the movement phase, I am going to attempt to move with the tank in K9. They don't get it. I've rolled so many 9s. Wow. So they just stop. These 2 tanks, however, will start. They don't have to roll for anything. They will actually, as I start, I9 tank there is going to shoot at the guy adjacent to him. That is a hit. It is not a critical or anything. It's just a hit. No effect. He will move. This guy has an acquisition on him now. He'll take another shot because he had rate. He has no more rate. So rear shot should be a plus 1 to kill, if I remember correctly. And the armor is 3. So the 2 kill number is a 6. That goes up to a 7 because of rear or engine covered arc, if I remember correctly. So 7. Armor is 3. That will penetrate and kill. The Germans get 1 success. That is a FCM. Crew survival, no effect. This turns into a wreck. That will turn into that. He is considered first fired. And that's it. Defensive fire phase. Tank in L2 is going to shoot back at his aggressor. That is going to be a hit because he's crew exposed. Oh, I think... Hmm... I think you do button up automatically if you're unknown killed. Or if you're shocked. So I don't think it would just be the +1. So it would be a miss, I think. I'm going to play it that way because that makes more sense to me anyways. Tank in P1, going to shoot at Q8, his aggressor. Also nothing. Awesome. Cool. I don't need to bother with counters because there's not going to be anything else. Tank and K9 did not shoot. They couldn't do anything because they attempted to move. They will turn their turret and shoot at the guy adjacent to them. That is a +4 overall, and then -1 for range. That is going to be a hit. It is not a kill. He might have had the acquisition, so yeah, it'd still be that anyways. +1 to kill for rear armor, so that brings it up to an 8. It is a turret, so possible shock. They're fine. No routes, no advances, no CC. German turn 4. Honestly, I could probably just concede at this point. I don't think there's a way for me to win this one as the Germans. I think I'll try one more turn, but yeah. Rally phase. Nobody has anything to do in the rally phase except this guy for repair, I guess. Didn't get it. Cool. Prep fire phase. Tank in I-9 versus F-9. Shoot. That is a miss. Pretty sure that's a miss. So, +1 for hindrance, +1 for size. Yeah, that is a miss. No rate, which is terrible because now he's got 3 tanks looking at him. Yeah. Tank in L2 shoots at his usual suspect. No rate. It is a hit, not a kill. Jeez. Tank in P1 also takes a shot. That doesn't break his gun, won't be a hit, and no rate. Not even a point to really mark anybody. Defensive fire phase, tank in K9 shoots. That is a hit no matter what. That is going to be a kill because there's only 1 armor, so he gets thrown off board. I need to clone that and then wreck it. It's technically whatever. That goes away. Those are whatever. Tank Q8 takes a shot. Hit because it's +2 down 2, I believe. 2 kill. That is on 3 armor. 2 kill is a 7, so that is equal on a hull hit. That tank is immobilized. Now the game is specifically over. Not that it could really have changed, but that tank is immobilized now, so it's basically over. Tank in K7 will get a hit and will not get any effective damage out of that. Advanced phase, or advanced fire phase, none. Routes, none. Advances, none. CC, none. French turn 5. We can delete that. Okay. Rally phase, gonna try and repair the 1 tank gun. They get it, of course. Jesus. Prep fire, I've got 2 prep fires I care about. K7 takes a shot. Hit, no effect. Q8 takes a shot. Definitely a hit. Dud, no rate. Go to movement phase. Tank in F9 tries to move. He does. So he starts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Makes it off board for 5 points. Tank in K9 will try to move. He is successful. Starts for 1 and unbuttons. He is going to go 1.5, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. I'm just gonna delete these. 6, 7, 8, 9 in motion. Tank in P8 is going to. Oh, I think. I don't think I'm allowed because one of the guys shot. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if you have to. I'm not sure how that works. I don't think a guy in the platoon can attack and then you can just say, well, the rest are gonna split off. I think you have to make the decision to split off first. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe someday I'll learn the rules enough to be super confident on that. Defensive fire phase, tank P1, shoot. Hit, no effect. Tank in L2, shoot. Hit. That might be a hit. No effect, anyways. I guess technically I would have, in their turn, wanted to unbutton. It doesn't matter for the purposes of all this. Doesn't matter. They would not have been successful. Rally phase or weather. Wind change clockwise twice, I think. It's not an increase or decrease, so it doesn't matter. Take off our preps and defensive. Nobody has anything to do in the rally phase. Prep, tank, P1, shoot, miss. Cool. Tank L2, shoot, hit, maybe an effect. 37L is a 9 to kill. That is 6 armor. That is a 1 over on hull, which is going to be a pos shock because it's 1 over final 2 kill. I guess technically I should have done that as a morale check, but that is enough because the French, yeah, elite morale is 8, so that should be enough. So no effect essentially. We go to movement phase. There's nobody that can move. Defensive. In the defensive, tank and K7, they're going to exchange. No effect. Doesn't blow up his gun. Q8, same thing. Going to be a hit and no effect. We go to routes. Nothing happens. Advance. Nothing happens. CC. Nothing happens. French, turn 6. And this is pretty much the death knell here. I don't see how there could be a way to... I don't really know how I don't win as the French here. So tank in K7 shoots, hit, up 3. That's an equal. That's on hull. This tank is immobilized instantly. It's game over because they no longer can move. It's impossible for them to gain any points on EVP. Take shot, crits. That's another dead. No. Oh, right. Multiple hits. All right, he's just dead. So, yeah, kind of an insane scenario. Not in terms of its playability or anything. Not in terms of playability, but really, like, everything went wrong for the Germans. They lost their Panzer IVs instantly. Broken MA that occurred on the German vehicle also really sucks. They just got sniped in the worst times. All the crits went to the French instead of the Germans. So, and like the Germans kind of need the crits. It's very similar to There was a scenario I played where the Germans had three, I think, AT guns, and the Germans just got like three crits or whatever it was. It was kind of insane. Um, yeah, like one of those situations where one side just utterly dominates, potentially for no for no good reason. Um, yeah, just kind of terrible. But otherwise, how do I feel about this scenario? I don't think it's a bad scenario. Um, I don't know about the setup. Setup's a little strange. Yeah, setup's a little strange. I don't see a point to simultaneous setup because neither side really can benefit off of the knowledge that the other has. Um, like as an example, if the Germans get to set up first, right? There's not really a space for the Germans to be able to see from the road because they can't. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure they can't set up on the road. Yeah, it's north of the road, not on the road. So you have to have a hex like DD4 that like you have to be able to see, you know, into here, which just isn't happening. Like there's no hex realistically that you're gonna see. Like if you stick to the road, you're not getting spotted till L8, K9, but like even still, I guess technically I'm not sure if I was doing it on the right hex. Yeah, like L8, K9 isn't even open. You know, you really have to be aiming for these Hail Mary shots from way outside just to get there. And I mean, it's not like AA1 or AA2 are bad positions for the Panzer IVs because you get to look down this road and you get to cover this area if the French try to do something cheeky like I was doing, or if they split their forces, you still get to aim somewhere with relative safety. Obviously, it's better if you have like hedge or walls even, but um, suffice to say, you don't really get that. And what are the Germans supposed to do about it? So I don't feel like the simultaneous setup really matters because the Germans are just going to set up in a way where they can move their tanks to get into positions they want. And unfortunately, there's just like no defensible positions for the German side. And what I mean by that is, like, as an example, O2 is the only hex that they can take advantage of a wall, whereas the same applies to Q8. Now, for the French, Q8 is fine because you get to watch that upper area. Um, from that area, you get to see everywhere. Like you can see all of these hexes that you would potentially be moving through, right? So it makes sense. Q8 is a good hex for that. However, O2 is not that same thing. There is reciprocity in terms of like you can shoot all the way to Y10 and you can shoot into Q8. But that's kind of where it ends. Like you can shoot into this back area, maybe, but why would you shoot into that back area? There's nothing really there for the German player to shoot. If the French player is parking, tanks in F7 and the area around it, you're doing something wrong because you've already seeded the entirety of the map and you start closest closest to that area. So there's not a reason why you should be giving up that amount of space. So I think like a lot of scenarios that feature low unit counts, it really depends on what you lose first and how. And in my case, it was the two what would have hopefully been gunslingers for the Germans. The 75 shorts, they're not super good in the sense that they don't have, we're not talking about long barrel AP. If they're shooting AP, it's only on a 7 or less. However, 75 short is a to kill number of 10. So instead of having to rely on critical hits or twos and threes, you just need like uh, 4 to a 6, depending on which tank you're shooting at and what their covered arcs are. So there's a lot more possibility with the Panzer Force. So, anyways, I hope that was enjoyable for the people at home. I should have a game on Saturday with Rudin. We have not decided what we're going to play. I have to remind myself to shoot over to him some options so that we can figure out what we want to do. I might as well try and peel back the curtain a little bit because I don't know what is in store. I would like to move past Dinant in terms of the timeline, if only because, frankly speaking, it's been a lot of German versus French, and while I don't necessarily hate that, I would like to move to some other areas of the conflict. As an example, there's still some scenarios in Norway that we could potentially see, and while those are German French, I do think the uniqueness of the location does make up for that. There are some scenarios that take place with German British at, say, Saint Eloi and Festubert in France. But otherwise, there's still some pockets of things in like Belgium and whatever. So I'll figure something out. But that is probably where we're going to be ending up. Is maybe some German Belgian or German French, and then maybe there's still a big stack. I was going to say maybe Italians are going to start showing up. And they will, but not necessarily too soon. So when does Dinant technically count as starting? So Stone Heights is like 18 May. Yeah, Stone 17. Okay, 13. Yeah, okay. So Dinant, yeah. So yeah, probably somewhere around the early 20s, probably 22, 23 of May is where our stuff's gonna pick up again, and from then on, it's a short skip and a hop to Italians, and then once the Italians get in, there's already been a lot of action, a lot of fun, but it's gonna open up the doors to some different scenarios, different producers. We might go back to some critical hit stuff for some pretty rare scenarios. And then eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, once we're done with June of 1940, it really speeds up the time frame. There's probably only one, two, three, four, five, six scenarios in July. No, never mind. 7, 8, 9 scenarios in Dinant in July of 1940. I I'd be surprised if one of these was not a reprint. So it might be less than the 10 or so. Then we've got August, which is 1, 2, 3, like another 5 scenarios. One of them is a reprint, so 4. And then lengthy September-ish, comparatively anyways. Short October, short-ish, medium-sized November. And then December will pass by quickly into January 1941, and that at that point we should see a lot more. We'll see a lot more Africa Corps, a lot more North Africa campaign stuff. It's going to show up anyways, but just it'll be more and more of a focus until Barbarossa hits, and then Barbarossa will be its own super crazy thing. Crete as well. That's right. Operation Mercure, among other things. Hopefully, I think I fixed that map, so that should be fine to go through. But all to say, there's going to be a lot more developing changes when it comes to the nation variety, which I think is going to be great because it's been it feels like it's been a long time since I played against other people, and it has not been French versus German. Yeah. So until Saturday, when I will hopefully have a game with Rutan, I hope you all have a lovely week, and I will see you next time